Welcome to Taking Care of Business, the podcast that explores business and opportunities in Dubai.
From real estate insights to conversations with Dubai's top entrepreneurs,
We cover the economy, investments, and stories that shape the city.
for market knowledge and business inspiration, this is the podcast you need to follow.
Do you know why I actually got it done? I remember doing a video and my eye was hanging down there at my head, and I was like, I ain't going on camera again like that. There's absolutely Carl's all like shiny and looking like proper, like he just come out of his.
He said he
At
had
the-
the sun's.
Yeah, George had that. I've just had my eyes lasered under here and under here. So they put like numbing cream on it, and basically the reason they do it, I can't remember, it's like it's something laser, but basically it brings all the new skin from here. You've got to do like 3 sessions of it over like 4 months, but it burns. You can like that.
I am molded.
Are you? No, you're not much substance, mate. You're just. If she like exploded now, you'd just be lips and some nails on the floor.
But the amount of things I've learned since I've joined this company is phenomenal.
No, you will. Well, look, we can start, can't we? Yeah. So, welcome to the Allsopp Allsopp podcast. Is that what it's called today? What's it called? Taking Care of Business. We do have 2 or 3 different podcasts. So, Take Care of Business. We have if you're watching this is one of the most interesting guests that I think I've had on the podcast. A gentleman called Gilles Bindels. Is that the correct way to say it?
Absolutely perfect.
On the money, yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
like continental. So background with Gilles. Gilles, a property developer in Luxembourg. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
See, I've come prepared.
Yeah.
Now I was working in the private office, and I remember a conversation about a year ago, and you called me and you were like, I've exited my business now. I like property and I want to get into it. And I remember me going to you, as I was like, Gilles, you don't want to get into this game, mate. You don't need to be here. And I think it's quite an interesting one because we had a conversation entrepreneur to entrepreneur. And sometimes we need to be busy and we need to be active and we need to be in the midst of something. And I think that was probably one of your trigger points for getting into real estate. But first of all, thank you very much for coming.
Well, thank you very much for having me, yeah.
I mean, I want to discuss your journey with you. So let's just start off at the beginning. You're obviously living in Dubai now, but you come from a property background?
Yes, I started property quite early. I mean, as far as I can think back, I've been
How early?
involved with property. Well, I think the first time I've been on a construction site has been when I've been around 5 years old.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, fine.
So always been quite involved with property. But when I really started for myself, getting involved on the market itself was probably in my early 20s.
Okay. And what was that? Was that
That's
selling
now
property,
that's
building?
now a bit more than 20 years back. Yeah.
How old are you now? 40?
44.
44, mate. You look young though, 44. You could be like
you.
late 20s.
So do you.
So 20. Let's say your 20s. What were you doing in property at the time?
Well, back at the time, it started pretty much by identifying opportunities in southern France, namely Monaco, where we were seeing good opportunity in buying, refurbishing, and reselling apartments.
Oh wow, in Monaco.
Yeah,
Wow, of all the places, I mean, that's probably one of the highest price per square foot in the world
it,
for a
that,
startup
yeah.
investor.
I mean, it was a very good preparation of what was
Yeah,
to come.
you've come at the
in
peak,
this,
and then you're
yeah.
like everything else is going to be cheaper.
Well, look, it wasn't really the peak. Back when I joined the property market in Monaco, that was in early 2000, so
Okay.
2002, around there.
Yeah.
Property prices between 2002 and 2007, they more than doubled, almost tripled during that
And you were
period of
involved in this
time. That was pretty much the time where we were seeing it happening. The Monaco property market has always been extremely positively correlative to the stock market. So we've really seen run up till 2007, 2008 quite heavily. And yeah,
It's
what
quite
we-
interesting you said there, by the way. So Monaco between 2002 to 05, approximately 07, doubled or tripled in price. Do you still follow that market? Has it
less, but always
has
when
has it dipped back to that price or not?
No. It never really it never really became weak. I mean, in Monaco, if a price drops, it means it remains stable. It is not growing year on year.
And the reason I say it is you don't see that in many places. Like people talk about Dubai being the boom, and they go, "Oh, well, the price have doubled and tripled. The prices are going to drop." But when you look at Monaco, where it's potentially done the same, I know they're very different markets. Monaco has a limited amount of space and area, but it's interesting to see another person that's been in a market that's doubled or tripled and followed it, and it's not dipped again.
No, it has not come down. I mean, back then people weren't also really expecting Monaco to come down.
Yeah.
I think now in Dubai everybody has seen cycles in the past, but
What do you think of the Dubai cycles?
well, I know Dubai since the early 2000s. I've been coming here every year. I've been following the markets quite closely, and yeah, we've seen constant cycles, but we're coming from 2020, and 2020 was a period where prices were extremely low. I mean, 2018 leading into 2020 was an exceptional period. All other markets were pretty much soaring, and Dubai went through a legitimate price crisis at that point. So we were coming from extremely low. So it's not extraordinary to see prices triple if you come from
A low market,
from a very low market, basically.
What you bought a couple of properties from us, didn't you, in 2021, 2020? When did you buy from us?
Well, I bought some before. I bought some from you, but yeah, the one I bought from you was early 2021.
Was that Barari?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
Yeah,
And obviously, without discussing numbers, what was the percentage gain in property value from when you bought it to sold it?
Well, pretty much the market. I guess we were
Doubled.
just 2.5 times.
Oh wow, that's incredible. With that property, again, I wasn't involved in the transaction. Where a lot of people make money is they leverage on finance, and if you leverage on finance, your ROI becomes a lot bigger because you gain the value of the whole house. Did you finance that, or did you just pay for it?
No, I'm not. I did not finance.
Yeah, so a lot of people do finance, which makes your ROI
that leverage.
Because I did that on my house. You know, the house I'm in now, I leveraged the deposit, and my ROI and deposit versus like a cash purchase becomes obviously dramatically outstrips. But even at 2.5x your money, I mean, what would that be if we put it on a deposit of 30%? You'd get 3x. You basically take about 7 or 8 times the money rather than the 2 on the deposit down. It's just crazy, isn't it?
Yes, it was. But at the same time, you know, the prices were so low, which really makes you want to buy. I mean, one of the general characteristics that define me is that I become extremely, I want to buy when nobody wants to buy, and I want to sell when everybody wants to buy.
Yeah.
So,
why
I really get scared when the market gets overly.
And what do you think now then, right this second? Because everything's launching, everything's selling, everyone's buying. You're obviously involved in our real estate business, so you see the insides of it. You know we just had our record month, but also record buyer registrations. Like, what's your opinion as an investor? Where's your head at? Are you putting into the market? Are you watching it? What do you think is going to happen?
Well, I am quite invested at the moment, so I'm not looking at making too many moves myself. But I see the market as being extremely liquid. I think liquid is the right word, because if people say that the market is high, prices are high, what I am more interested in is the number of transactions. I mean, we had in Q3 alone around about 53,000 transactions. Yeah. We had $36 billion in value being transacted, which shows that there is a lot of market depth. And when talking about high prices, you want to know how liquid is your market, and the market is I see it as extremely liquid at the moment.
I agree. I think someone asked me about the market today, and they said, "Oh, you know, the Dubai, the prices are going up." And I said, "What you need to understand, if the prices are going up, a lot of people, I know agents here that live in Dubai and own property, they've sold and buying bigger stuff. So what you're finding is that if the prices are going up, people's liquidity is going up, and the actual fail-safe or guarantee for the property market is getting deeper because they now hold so much equity in assets around Dubai. Even developers, I use Palm Jebel as an example. Palms Blally, their payment plan at the moment is 80-20. 80% over handover, and that's such confidence from the developer, and 20% on getting the keys. You know the market's good when developers can push a payment plan like that on you and people still buy it, because that's not normal.
It's not what we used to see.
No.
I mean, we used to see handover payment plans post handover. I mean, that's obviously the most interesting deals. But you see that even with less attractive payment plans today, transactions are being made, and that just gives a lot of confidence in today's market.
So we spoke before a little bit at the start about you've been involved in Luxembourg. Now, if I'm not mistaken, when we were talking, you were involved in commercial assets in Luxembourg.
Yeah.
How did you end up in Luxembourg doing investments there?
Well, I am originally from Luxembourg. I'm born and raised there pretty much. Then I left the country for about 12 years before pretty much coming back to that market. And it was a very interesting time back then. We were talking 2008, financial crisis. I finished my studies. It was never really my goal to end up full time in real estate.
It never is for anybody.
Yeah,
Everybody ends up in real estate
always
when they rubbish everything else.
Yeah, I mean, I was in financial studies, and my goal was at that time of study to become an investment banker.
Everyone's that's the goal, isn't it? Wall Street and what changed?
Well, nobody needed a banker in 2008, 2009. So
good point.
I pretty much looked and sometimes the closest things are the most natural things, and so I've always had a good tie to real estate. And I mean, even that discussion back then, you talk to people in 2008, there was a lot of this discussion that the financial crisis might have been unlocked by real estate.
Yeah.
So not only did I not get the job that I wanted, but I was also venturing into a field which a lot of people thought at that point was the root of all evil.
I was going to say, everybody hates real estate. Anywhere in the world, it's not Dubai, England, everywhere else. I think we're down there with like the people that put tickets on cars. Like we're at that level that they hate you that much.
I was extremely convinced that the natural thing is that we will stick to real estate, and humanity will need real estate. We will not move back to caves anytime soon. So from that very strong belief, I thought that real estate was the way to follow. And specifically in 2008, the hurdle of entry was much lower than compared to a couple of years prior. The concept of real estate investment banking got introduced, I guess, only in the early 2000s, and it grew extremely fast with closed-end property funds. And then in 2008, this whole established business was leaving some room of entry for new entrants.
Okay, and that was you in Luxembourg at the time?
Yeah, that was what we were doing, yeah.
And then you got into commercial buildings, retail, is that what it was?
Yeah, the opportunities were on the Luxembourgish market. Obviously, they have always been in residential real estate.
Yeah.
But also as one of the world's main financial hubs, it was definitely office space, office buildings.
It's interesting on the office buildings, isn't it? Because if you go back to like 2020, 2019, 2021, lockdown, people were like, don't buy an office. No one's going back to work. And now, obviously, everybody's going back to work. And actually, one of my personal best asset portfolios is commercial. Like, if I look at my ROI on commercial assets that I own, they've actually exploded heavier than anything else. And I think that's due to supply and demand. And look at the investment banks around London and New York at the moment. They're pulling everybody back to work. Google and Apple are pulling people back to work. And you don't really hear any more work from home. Like, that's not a thing that I actually think exists.
Well, yeah, I guess everybody needs to experience it for himself, but I can just talk for myself. And I enjoy coming to this office, for example. I mean, it's the culture, it's exchanging with the people. It's really having yeah, I can't see office space going away.
No, I think
It's an extremely interesting asset class.
do you know one of the interesting things about the whole work from home thing for me was there was an era in that period, people that were going and starting their jobs, and they were not learning because I learned from mistakes or being next to the best and listening to the best and being at the coffee room and talking about what they're doing and taking ideas. If you're working in your bedroom in your parents' house, how are you getting better?
Well, it's like most of the things, they get boring over time as well. You know, if I would tell you, choose your favorite dish and you have to eat it every day.
What is your favorite dish?
My favorite, oh my God, I've been changing
yeah.
my nutrition
Have you
a lot
gone healthy
lately.
now?
Yeah.
What was your favorite non-healthy dish then?
Everything that involved yellow food, pretty much. Yeah.
Yellow food, so like bread,
Oh,
pasta, rice,
Everything that pretty much had the color.
microwave meals.
No.
No, you like the good stuff.
No.
So I'm the microwave.
Wouldn't go that far, you know, but
Come on then, what's your favorite?
fries, burgers.
So that'd be your number one. Okay, where's your favorite burger place then?
It's a hard one.
Yeah.
In Dubai?
Anywhere. Gotta be known. You can't just say like one in the back of Naples in the street that no one knows. You got like Five Guys, Shake Shack, McDonald's.
Out of the, out of...
You got the good stuff. You got the rubbish. Where are you going for your burger?
I would come back to that question.
Oh wow, you're not willing to commit right now to the best burger.
I guess the Five Guys burger is quite good.
You know the problem with Five Guys? Too many chips.
My son brought me to Shake Shack the other day. I must say it's also quite
Shake Shack's high level. Yeah, they come with nice cheese onto chips as well, and you get the bacon bits on top as well. Wow.
But there is a lot of handcrafted burgers out there which are extremely good as well. I think Maine has one.
Oh, Maine. Big shout out to Maine. If you're looking for a collab, private office, a Maine collab burger could happen. Okay, so interestingly, we talked before about you getting into real estate, and I said this jokingly before, but you have investments. I know we were joking about you having a yacht and a family boat and everything else, and you being in this position where like you don't need to be in real estate, especially working here, but it's really interesting that you are here. Do you see a good earning potential in being in real estate from what you've seen from someone from the outside in?
Yes, I believe that it is one of the fields that truly values and honors and is back to hard work.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what it, at the end of the day, it all comes down to. It is hard work. I don't value it to the same degree as I used to measure success back in the days. I see it more internal now. Having the freedom of really working with people that I like.
Yeah.
Getting to meet a lot of people in the field, I guess that is really interesting. Having all that different sorts of buyers, sellers, seeing a lot of different houses.
Yeah.
I guess the potential is just huge.
Yeah.
And with the influx of people that we have in Dubai, I mean, we're really blessed here to meet such great people that are coming from all over the world at the moment. And it is extremely interesting from that point of view. And where there is this, there is automatically a lot of opportunity. That is.
So what's been your biggest struggle for you going from investor, landlord, buyer? I mean, we actually met and you were a buyer when we met. You wasn't working in the company. Now working in real estate, if you were to say to yourself, looking in the mirror, Gilles, as you get into real estate, this is going to be your biggest challenge. What would you say your biggest challenge has been so far in the journey?
Well, one of the biggest challenges is that now all of a sudden the whole city is there for the taking.
Yeah.
You know, when you're an investor, when I came to buy, generally I'm a quite focused buyer. So before I enter the shop, I know pretty much what I want to have. When I sell something, it is what I have in my shop, right?
Yeah,
so
correct.
But now
it's the whole of the city.
Now all of a sudden a client comes see me and he says, find me the perfect home. Normally I would pitch him mine, you know, but all of a sudden I can pitch him the entire city. So it might seem like an advantage, but with my background, it is something that I need to get acquainted to.
Yeah. It's probably the biggest thing, like in Allsopp and Allsopp specifically, people moan at the start about when we give them exclusive areas and say, look, just do Emirates Living or do the Marina because the whole of Dubai is there. But concentrated focus in an area, especially if you're a buyer and make an inquiry to an agent, you want that agent to know what else on the market, when the clubhouse is handing over, when things are happening. And if you've just got one property, then basically you're no use to the client. So I do believe expertise is a big part of.
Yes, 100%. I mean, you need your area of expertise. It's that area where you really know your ins and outs.
Yeah.
That's extremely important.
Okay. And what's your favorite area? Where would you invest? If you were sitting with an investor now and you say, right, because obviously you come from a finance background, you know money, you know price per square foot. If you were sitting in front of an investor now, where do you see the most value in an investment?
Well, for me, it is definitely Tilal Al Ghaf at the moment. I mean, that is one of the areas I've chosen to invest myself.
Yep.
So it's pretty much, cooking what you're selling, what you eat yourself, you know?
I always believe that if you're investing in it.
So
why do you think that? Why is Tilal Al Ghaf?
I do believe that this community is just extremely well thought through. At the moment, it is not it's not so visible just yet because we're right before opening up that amazing lagoon, opening up the restaurants, retails, outlets around basically what is going to be the heart of this community.
Yeah.
So there is obviously a lot of communities out there that promise this and promise.
Yeah.
But here we are extremely close to handover. So when we're talking around the lagoon, we will probably see the first handovers happening by mid of next year.
Oh, wow.
So for an investor today, having something that is so close to reality,
But not touchable just yet.
yeah,
Creates value for people.
and there is definitely still a value advantage.
Yeah.
If I see what is being out there,
So you would say to an investor, look on the lagoon basically for the luxury villas.
that is what I would definitely recommend. I mean, we are for the most cases we are below 3,000.
Oh, wow.
Or around 3,000 dirhams a square foot.
Yeah.
Which is something, if I compare it to other established and well-capped communities that could be comparables.
Yeah. Even Jumeirah Golf Estates, I've just seen Lime Tree Valley Ultra Luxury. They're trading at like 5,000, 4,500 dirhams a square foot. Now, if you ask me the choice between living in the lagoon or living on the golf course, I'm taking the lagoon. That's my opinion. Opening the window and overlooking the water, and you've got who's the company that owns Sushi Samba in Dubai? That company.
Is it Sunset?
Sunset. So Sunset's obviously taking over all of the beach clubs and everything else. And I think if that lifestyle comes to fruition, it's going to be incredible. One question I've got about the lagoon, I don't have an answer because I don't sell Tilal Al Ghaf, but I wonder if the people in the townhouses are allowed to use the lagoon.
Yes, there is a whole part of the lagoon that is pretty much open,
Okay.
Open to all residents. I think even to outside residents, they will be renting kayaks. You can bring your paddleboard.
So you buy into the lifestyle.
It's about the lifestyle. I guess it's really about the lifestyle. And Jumeirah Golf Estates, it's an absolutely fantastic community that is situated right next to Tilal Al Ghaf. If you're into golfing, probably you would prefer Jumeirah Golf Estates.
Yeah.
If you're more into this resort feeling, lagoon.
Yeah. And what are you? Golf or resort? What's your?
Well, I like to have the golf close by, but if I'm thinking about my kids, they would probably like to take their bikes or take out the paddleboard on the lagoon.
Any developer that really cracks that, the whole family living lifestyle, lifestyle experience, has won this game because no one's properly cracked it. I think Athlon's trying to do it with Aldar. I think there's a couple of developers that are trying to offer the lifestyle of like outdoor living. Whoever managed to put the bike tracks in and the walking trails and the outdoor gyms and the pool, the coffee and the pool all outside, whoever gets that right is going to probably hold the highest price per square foot, I think.
It is easy to imagine. Then you add to this the proximity to the best, to some of the best schools Dubai has to offer. I mean, for families, it gives you an entire package.
Yeah.
And,
well, RGS is just planted in the middle of that. I mean, the amount of messages I get from people asking me to try and get them into RGS from around the world that are coming from London and New York and their house. It's crazy the amount of people they're trying to get.
Yeah, they've been extremely growing. I mean, they opened just down the street from RGS. We have
Gems, the super school with the helicopters and everything. But
yeah,
have you been into it or not? I've not been into that school.
It's pretty much open since 2 weeks. I
Yeah,
pass
I know.
by there every
It's
every
crazy how
now and
quick
then,
it gets,
and
isn't it?
it just came up within a year. Yeah.
I can't understand how you can do that anywhere else in the world. It'll take like 5 years.
Hey,
all that together.
no.
Absolutely
I've never seen something like it. And now I just see new billboards coming up for Harrow School, just a little bit further down the street on Hassa. So we're really on an extremely strategic.
Yeah, I think, look, the good thing about
location here.
Dubai's population is now over 4 million. It's on its way creeping up. There are more people coming here, so there's going to be more schools. The traffic is just a killer, though, isn't it? The traffic's just
You want to have the things that you use daily close by.
very close. I now have to plan my meetings around knowing I'm going to be in traffic. The best thing I've ever hired is a driver. Having a driver in a car with me, it means that wherever I go, even when I'm stuck, I can work.
At least you can work, yeah.
Because I know it's really morbid, but I'll end up dying, like, in my car because my phone constantly goes off. Like, the best thing I've done is get a driver in this traffic.
Yeah. Well, I love driving myself,
Yeah.
but it wouldn't come to mind to drive
Yeah,
here.
exactly the same.
It's just not, yeah.
So thank you very much for coming on the podcast.
Welcome.
Anybody that's looking at investing in the luxury off-plan or private office post 25 million market, this guy has been a finance background developing and has some of the best contacts in Dubai and around the UAE. So thank you very much for coming in, Gilles. And
Well, thank you very much for having me.
we'll
Thank
see
you,
you
Lewis.
later on, hopefully, with some more big investment opportunities.
Thank you.
See you later.